Modern Warfare got an update today, but not like last week with a download of 14 to 18 gigabytes, and in some cases 50 on PC, with Spec Ops stability updates that came along with it, and stuff that really didn't seem all that much outside of Crossbow and some other stuff that came along with it. Instead, today we got a relatively normal update for the game as we round into the second to last week of the first season of this year's support. But at the same time, while it was relatively normal in terms of no maps or anything added or anything that required you to download anything, man, the meta might actually shift a little bit, because we saw nerfs to the M4A1 and MP5, as well as a buff to the M13. So it's a surprise that I didn't see coming, truthfully, but I'm all for it. I'd expect this week and the following week to see relatively calm patterns of updates, since it'll give players the opportunity to get to level 155 if they haven't done so already, and allow them to get to tier 100 as well to complete the battle pass if they haven't done that either. But this was a nice little update that I wasn't expecting a whole lot. So today, I want to let you guys know what changed and what you can look out for in the near future as a result. So with that, let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. What are you guys enjoying out of this update? Maybe what do you want to see come with the next update? And as well, if you are new to the channel, maybe considering that subscribe button. If you're part of that nearly 70% of viewers who are not subscribed, we're on that road to 300,000 subscribers, and we'll keep you up to date with all things Modern Warfare on a daily basis. But that said, let's begin. Let's start out with what I think is the biggest part here of this update, the weapon adjustments. Stuff that we did not see coming, or at least I didn't. Maybe you did, in which case, if you did, can you pick my lottery numbers next time? But in all seriousness, we ended up seeing adjustments to the M4A1, the MP5, the M13, as well as the crossbow. Let's start with the biggest one here with this one, the M4, the one that people thought was the untouchable weapon, and even I myself thought that. We mentioned it within, even just a couple of days ago, we did a video talking about the best weapons after the update, in which I said, I think the M4 and MP5 may reign supreme the entirety of the year, to which case they may, but they ended up seeing a reduction here in some properties. The M4 having a small damage decrease to reduce headshot effectiveness and small range decreases. Now, is it still an insanely versatile weapon? Absolutely. Is it still top of the class? Maybe. We'll talk about the M13 here in a second, which I think gives it now a run for its money, but the M4 did have those adjustments. The MP5 also saw a reduction to the headshot multiplier and a small reduction to the 10mm range. Now, that's pretty big, because the MP5's most valuable attachment is, to me, the 10mm rounds, because you end up getting extra damage at range, and that's the biggest part here with it. It's a fantastic weapon up in close quarters, but when you put on that 10mm rounds, you end up getting that damage range increase, which makes it even rival some rifles. So having a reduction in that headshot multiplier, where it is absolutely lethal, and then that range reduction on the best attachment, it pulls it back in a little bit, whereas the MP5 was kind of head and shoulders above all the other SMGs for those properties specifically nerfed in this. It brings it back in line with a little bit more of close quarters and SMG play that you may be used to. Now, the M13 got a range increase with small reductions to the horizontal recoil, making it a little bit easier to control, and also had a small damage increase to boost the headshot effectiveness. Now, a huge thanks to my friend JGod, but whenever he did testing on this weapon, he found that they buffed the range by about 5 meters in game, and then also the headshot damage went from about 24 to 28, from 32 meters to 50 meters at range. So that means that if you land all those shots, you can take the shots needed to kill from 5 down to 4. So you can shave 1 bullet off theoretically each kill at range. But another thing to consider is that when you take that horizontal recoil, which on a weapon that already didn't have too much recoil to begin with, especially given the right loadouts, and then you add in the fact that you can shred in close quarters with it at range, that's where it needed some help, and this is where it's going to start to flourish. On paper, is it the most drastic changes ever made to a weapon? Not really, but it's one that you'll definitely feel, I think. I jumped on and immediately shredded with this thing. It's always been a formidable weapon, but that little extra boost, I think, made it just a tad bit more competitive. So that's something you may notice. It may shift the meta ever so slightly. Maybe you see an M13 MP7 meta now instead of an M4A1 MP5. So we'll have to wait and see here with that, but the final weapon that did get some adjustment was that of the crossbow, to which it says that you can now shoot down support helos with only 3 thermite bolts. A VTOL now takes 5, whereas I think it before only took 2 or 3, and then it takes 6 to shoot down a support helo and a chopper gunner. So those are the weapon adjustments, and I think I'm all cool with that. I liked pretty much all of these, and we'll see how it changes the meta and if it shifts it at all, and what it does for the overall playing experience. If people start to then use other things other than the MP5 and M4, if the M13 reigns supreme, we'll have to wait and see, but that was the adjustments made here with this one. But talking the other air quote normal things here at this update on Tuesdays, we saw a playlist refresh that added in a few new things. Firstly, it removed 3v3 gunfight, shoot the ship, and capture the flag. But the nice part is actually capture the flag was not removed entirely. It's now actually been moved over to the quick play filter. So it's a constant stable mode you'll be able to play if you really did enjoy it. You can find that again just there. So you may have to alter where you look, but it'll still be available. This week though, added in was Shipment 24/7, Gunfight Custom, and Deathmatch Domination. Now, Deathmatch Domination is one that I had a lot of fun with in Black Ops 4 and really do still have a lot of fun with here within Modern Warfare, at least based off the couple of games that I played. This time, instead of going to, I think it was 400 in Black Ops 4, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, this time it only goes to 300 points, so you end up getting points for your kills as well as captures, so make sure you play the objective there, but also, if you want to slay out, that is absolutely an opportunity as well. But that was added in, a lot of fun. I'm really happy with how that one plays so far. Again, based off of my very first couple of games, very could easily change as the week goes along. But we also saw that Gunfight Custom was added in, which I don't think that I'm going to play too much of, truth be told. This one is literally just 2v2 with custom classes. It is basically face-off in a 2v2 sense from Modern Warfare 3. The uniqueness of Gunfight was that everybody was on the same even page for what players used. Everybody had the same loadout, so it really came down to just your gun skill. It really just came down to being able to maybe outthink a player on a rotation, but this time it is just based off of whatever weapon the player wants to use. So if they want to abuse head glitches or something like that with a very powerful weapon, well, you might not necessarily have the exact same counter that you could work with towards that. So in that case, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of it. It is cool that it's out there, I guess, that we just have kind of regular 2v2s, but I personally don't think that I'll be playing all that much of it. Then again, Shipment 24/7 was added in. That one's kind of self-explanatory. Don't really need to go over that too much. All Shipment all the time, although the current display for the actual playlist says all Shoot House, all Shipment all the time. So it's still got the text for Shoot the Ship, which I just think is kind of comical. Doesn't change anything, absolutely not, but jump on, grind out some camos, grind out some ranks, grind out your battle pass. It's some fantastic chaos and it'll be there. Actually, one other thing to mention about Shipment is that apparently they tuned the spawns in Shipment from what they've mentioned so that it should reduce the frequency of instant deaths and spawn traps. I have no idea just how effective this will be because Shipment seems like the spawns are different than what they were beforehand in previous Call of Duty titles, but that is mentioned as well from Infinity Ward. And the final changes here really with this update come down to the shop, and that's something that we knew of would happen every single week. With the shop, we end up seeing firstly the Executive Armory 3. There's been 1 and 2 out there, I think in just the daily rotations that may have come up, but I don't know if we've seen an Executive Armory just yet, actually in the featured section, but it comes along with the Fractured Forces FR556 variant, the Black Betty Model 680 shotgun, the Getting Paid charm, and the Assertive Octopod sticker. This comes along for 1,600 COD points. Personally, I don't see that as worth it. A little too pricey for 2 weapon blueprints if you ask me. Then we see the Birds of Prey bundle with the Eagle's Talon Scar variant, the Heritage charm, the Foul Symbol sticker, the Birds of Prey emblem, and the Master Fisher calling card. I'm gonna be totally honest with you, for 1,000 COD points, I don't think it's really worth it, but I think that the variant that actually comes along with it is hilarious looking. It is such a small, compact, but also thick weapon. The underbarrel is pretty much the size of the entire weapon itself, and it's just a build that is absolutely weird if you ask me, but the actual blueprint camo that comes with it of the Eagle is pretty cool. I like the semi-whited out version of it, but for 1,000 COD points, I don't really think that I'm going to be picking that one up. But then also we end up seeing that we have the Lunar New Year bundle for 800 COD points with the Red Envelope charm, Year of the Rat charm, Gold Rat sticker, the Lion Dance calling card, the Abundance emblem, the Luck emblem, the Lucky Dragon spray, and 2 tier skips. For 800 COD points, you don't really get all that much except for some minor customization items in the tier skips. This was actually available as of last week, though it was touted as being brand new here with this week in the blog post from Activision as of yesterday. So I'm a little confused as to if last week's was a mistake, if it went out early, but it's there again for you guys to check out. But that's the shop updates. But anyways, that's where we're gonna wrap it up. That's been the update here within Modern Warfare as of today. Again, a pleasant surprise with the weapon adjustments, I think, and maybe it'll shift the meta, but we won't know. It's a little bit too much in that honeymoon phase right now where we don't have enough information just yet to see how it all works works out. But overall, that's where we're going to wrap it up. So let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. Is there anything in particular you guys are really happy with here out of this? Are you enjoying deathmatch domination, maybe gunfight customs, maybe the weapon adjustments? Whatever it is, feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But also, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Modern Warfare, updates, news, information, tips, tricks, all that good stuff. We got you covered here on the channel. So if any of that interests you, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. If you guys also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, there's the best places to get connected from outside of YouTube, where I can live on both those. If you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. But let's sign out of the way. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.